The Department of Labor is preparing to release its most sweeping changes to the PERM program in the past 20 years. On July 3rd, 2026, we saw in the spring agenda that Department of Labor had a proposed rulemaking for modernizing the PERM process. Now, the last time Department of Labor modernized the PERM process or made any updates to the PERM was in 2004. So this definitely got our attention, and we've been looking into the proposed changes. Now, some of the areas that we believe Department of Labor is proposing to make changes are to the recruitment. So as you guys may know, currently the PERM requires 2 Sunday ads in a newspaper, and there's a lot of emphasis on print, right? Whether it's the local print or it's a local magazine or trade magazine, there's a lot of emphasis on making sure that it's in a newspaper. Now, I think Department of Labor is recognizing that less and less applicants are applying through newspaper and are applying online. So we're expecting to see stricter recruitment requirements that might include public sites like Indeed or LinkedIn. Nothing has been confirmed yet, but we do know that they're targeting digital ads and prioritizing that over newspaper ads. Another change that we might see in the PERM is stricter audits, so and stricter record-keeping requirements. So as of now, employers are required to keep all of the PERM documents beyond 5 years, same with law firms. But now there might be bigger audits where we might have officials come or request audit documents to make sure that the recruitment was done properly, and also make sure that the applicants were vetted properly. So that's another proposed area, is that we might see stricter rules on how applicants are interviewed and what is considered a qualified dismissal of a U.S. applicant. So with all those rules, basically the PERM process is going to get harder and harder. And this is not to mention the proposed rulemaking for increasing wage levels. So if you're an employer in 2026, now is the time to apply for PERM for your employees that you know that you want to retain, that you want to sponsor for the green card. Don't wait until the last year, because by 2027, 2028, we might have a whole overhaul of the PERM process, and you might not even have the option of doing that. That's sort of the trend that we've been seeing. Another thing that I want to say about the PERM process is that right now, processing times have actually shortened. So we went from prevailing wage requests taking, 7 to 8 months, and now it's taking more like 5 months or even 4 months. So we can get the process started quickly. And if we do advertisement for, 3-4 months, we're filing labor certifications with, 6-7 months, especially if it's with a corporate client that we know well. We don't need a lot of time to do strategy, right? And also labor processing, labor certification times are also shortening. So we have some cases that were pending for just a year that just got certified without an audit. So with the DOL processing all the backlogs that we saw that, from COVID, the good side is that cases are getting certified quickly, and we're seeing some cases even get, filed with 485, I-140 concurrent processing. So the process is definitely getting shorter. But we did hear from Department of Labor that they are starting to issue audits. So if you guys recall, in the past couple years when they were dealing with the COVID backlogs, Department of Labor never officially mentioned it, but they didn't really issue audits on just RFIs. Now we might actually see the traditional audit. And if you do get audited, that can add another 6 months to your timeline. If there was a time to file PERM applications, the time is now. If you're doing this application process on your own, in the past couple months, we've had a lot of employers reach out to us and say, hey, we've been doing this on our own. We need your help. We're at a point where we're not sure if we're doing it correctly. And when I did a quick look at the advertisement, we noticed that there were a couple of errors. So because of the high risk, and now you don't even know if you can refile the PERM if it gets denied for a simple error, it's really important to get legal counsel. And another trend that we've been seeing in PERM adjudications is that we've seen a wave of denials just a couple months ago due to Appendix C. So Appendix C is where you would write the information about the foreign degree. And in the past, there were no real guidance on what you needed to say, because that's something new that was introduced with the new form that came out, I want to say last year. And so lawyers started to see denials of the labor certification if there was not sufficient information on the credentials and the education evaluation and the basis for the foreign equivalency. And so if you are about to file your ETA 9089 or you're within the window where you can withdraw and refile, I would make sure that you go through Appendix C and make sure that you include the name of the credential evaluator or the basis, if it's a work or if it's just a education. Make sure you write that and say that, it's equivalent, and whatever you write there, make sure it matches wherever you put in the ETA 9089 and also in your prevailing wage document. Hope that was helpful. If you have any questions about the PERM, feel free to reach out and I'd be happy to speak with you.